Here's what I think, and if I had a whiteboard, I've done this. I call it the bell curve versus the dumbbell curve. So just get that image in mind. Okay. So you got the bell curve where America always has been. It's a center-right country. So you've always had Southern Democrats, kind of more moderate. You've had moderate Republicans, Libertarians, Whigs, whatever. For hundreds of years, we've had this middle that has voted and also have been represented in Congress for the most part. And beginning in 1994, I can almost put a date on it, when the Republicans took over. I'm not blaming it on them, but the rise of extreme partisanship happened, and the Republicans decided to purge their party of moderate Republicans. I mean, they were running conservative Republicans against moderates in the primaries. The Democrats weren't purging the Southern Democrats, but there were 91 Southern Democrats in Washington in 1982. There are 5 right now. The Blue Dogs are gone. So just by the way the party has moved left, okay, the bell curve is right here, standard deviations. That's where it's always been, 1 or 2 standard deviations. Now it's like the center of the Democratic Party is 4, 5 standard deviations. The Republican Party is 5 standard deviations. So you got the representation, nobody in the middle. So you can't.
It's a barbell.
It's a barbell. I call it a dumbbell. You got the dumbbells on both sides. And it's not that I don't consider people to be moderate if they believe in small government. But I do believe that people who can compromise and be rational, like McMillan did, he would take a deal. If he could cut spending by $10 trillion, he'd say, well, let's raise taxes by $1 on everyone. That's a deal. And I would think it'd be responsible. The Republicans will not do it because they say, well, Grover Norquist got us to sign a pledge. We can't break it. For $1 a head? Are you kidding me? And McMillan says, well, who the hell is Grover Norquist? He's not even elected. So hopefully what we're trying to do is bring enough sentient people from all sides and get back in the game and learn how to get elected. But then once elected, be leaders and say, I agree with you 85% of the time. What are you upset about? We're going to disagree. If I agree with everything you said, I'd begin to worry about myself. And you ought to worry about agreeing with me. So that's what we're trying to do, is kind of rebuild that. I hate to call it moderate center, but it's the thinking, rational, reasonable majority of American people. That's where the majority of people are.